Friday night over at Yonkers Raceway. My co-host was literally in the hot seat. You were up against some stellar drivers in a media race, correct?
Right. It was the Yonkers media race. It was a field of four. I think we're going to show the last half mile of the race. And I had the rail. And as you'll see in the race, it was affirmed in alley door all over again. I mean, it was just like Coughlin and Velasquez head-and-head. I mean, everybody told me it was one of the great races of the season. And we have a treat in store now. We'll be able to watch this race.
We're going to go to it right now. Here we go, folks, from the half-mile pole. This is the media race at Yonkers.
The halftime is 1:04.3. Around the clubhouse turn, the final time. John Piesen and Sunday in the Park still have a three-quarter length advantage. Scott Clark, Mr. Arthur, right there alongside second. Gap of about 8 lengths now. And High Ken and Del DeMontro. 5 more lengths back to Bridget Song with Pete Arcello. They head down the backstretch, and it's a two-horse race at this point as Scott Clark and Mr. Arthur get a neck and front on the outside. Sunday in the Park hanging tough for John Piesen on the rail, second. 3/4, 1:36.4. Paddock turn the final time. It's Mr. Arthur on the outside and Scott Clark as John Piesen rallies Sunday in the Park along the inside to challenge and regain the lead. They approach the head of the stretch. Sunday in the Park on the inside with John Piesen a slight advantage, but Mr. Arthur right there with Scott Clark. Coming through the stretch, Sunday in the Park on the inside, and on the outside, Mr. Arthur and Scott Clark as they approach the finish line. Their heads apart.
The next Mike Gagliardi driving in that bike, moving around, and you held on for the win.
More like Stanley Dancer, I thought. Your guest last night, I mean, Stanley was my inspiration, whipping those lines, screaming at the horse, just made it.
Were you talking to the fella next to you in the bike?
Oh, no. He was much too tall and good looking. I didn't want to have anything to do with
Total
him.
business. That was Scott Clark from ABC. John Piesen winning it by a head, and you
no, it was more like a nose, John.
More like a nose? All right, we'll call it a nose. And you're in demand now, I
Yes. I'm going to be competing in the George Plimpton race here, July 10th. Against some real heavy hitters.
You're going to come back with Sunday in the Park, or you've got a different horse to drive?
God, I have no idea. No, I'm thinking more in terms of Jake Lobel.
Jake Lobel. We will see that. John Piesen and the next race with the George Plimpton race here at the Meadowlands on July the 10th. That was a lot.